Inlingua is one of the largest organizations devoted to language teaching in the world, with hundreds of schools in cities around the globe. Since 1968, millions of students, companies and organizations in more than 30 countries have benefited from the Inlingua language teaching method. Today, the organization has more than 300 centers, each with its own team of teachers qualified to provide language and communication training, supported by teaching material created by Inlingua. As we celebrate our first 50 years, we are actively preparing for the next 50. And I has been traveling around the world for the past 50 years. In a time where so much continues to change, this anniversary is reason enough to celebrate and take a look back and reminisce. Behind every newly established company, there is a driving force. At Inlingua International, this force was Adalbert Schwartz. He owned a language school in Frankfurt, Germany, which belonged to the biggest network of its time. We owe our company's strong foundation to his tireless dedication. Thanks to him, roughly 500,000 customers each year are making progress in their efforts to learn a language. 50 years is a long time. The history of Inlingua International includes many highlights of which we are justly proud. This success has been shaped by three factors: expansion into new markets, the development of new teaching material, and the establishment of Inlingua centers around the globe. These centers have allowed us to recognize and meet the individual needs of our customers. They also provide us with the infrastructure that allows our language trainers to deliver the high-quality instruction synonymous with the Inlingua name. All in all, Inlingua provides the language services that cater to the needs of the market, as was conceptualized by the founders of the company 50 years ago.
He just wanted to have a company going like eye over the world, a global organization, a very democratic one, so that everybody has a share in the whole company, that nobody can sell the whole stuff what they had before.
We would like to thank Adalbert Schwartz for the idea and for being the driving force, as well as Louis Blaise, Carlos Soler, Keith Lewis, David Willey, Alessandro Ferriccio, and all of the other Inlingua personalities who were there at the beginning to help build up our network of individual entrepreneurs working together.
He had the experience that his company, or the company he was working for, was sold, and they said, "You are no more entrepreneur, now you have to work for us like a director." And he didn't want that. He wanted to have his own company working together globally. This was his idea. And found something like a shareholder company where you have your share, you can speak, you are in charge of the whole system, and you have your school on the other side where you have your local market. But the global market for everybody should be the same. Not as rich as it was. I learned so many things, and it's just great to see how we developed the whole thing, and to see the changes during 50 years, when we started, what we did at this time, and now what we have to do with technology, even that I still think that the teacher in class will stay all over, but we need the technology as well. And it's just interesting and great to work for inlingua and to see the development during 50 years, and I hope it will continue like this. There is not a best time. It's always growing, and the moment you're living, you think it's great, and it should continue like this, but you have to work for it. And to continue to work happily, with open eyes, to see what the market is asking and what people are asking, and join this, and follow and develop their ideas, the young ideas.
The Columbia strike may have reminded people of the Paris Commune, but May '68 in France was the real thing.
A roll and pitch program which puts Apollo 11 on a proper heading.
But the committee working on the Declaration on the Human Environment had been given the hardest task.
Idea that we could rename the thing Microsoft Window.
Those images have all become things of the past.
Directing you to a particular website, like MTV.
My name is Peter, and my sister is Dolly.
Her name is Dolly, 7 months old. She may not be the monster imagined in a science fiction fantasy.
Refreshing the euro banknotes means starting at the design phase, but technical work also.
It's a revolutionary moment.
The teeth for chewing, not for fighting. After reconstructing her entire skeleton, they made a remarkable discovery.
It is a field of energy that exists throughout all of space, and it is composed of Higgs bosons, which are elementary particles. All subatomic particles pass through.
It's finished. The tunnel through the St. Gotthard Massif is complete.
Inlingua language schools are legally independent centres that adhere to certain standards of quality and shared principles of learning, but enjoy complete freedom to design their training programs in accordance with local conditions. Jörg Heiniger has been the CEO of Inlingua International since 1996. With his team in Bern, he manages the organization and its network of more than 300 centers.
Inlingua is a network of more than 300 independent language schools in more than 40 countries. And our mission is to teach languages to our clients as easy as possible for them, as motivating as possible. We have many language services for our customers. For example, the main solution for customers is the teaching in our inlingua method with a real teacher, which is more motivating than being in front of a computer. But in addition to that, we have support material on computers, the inlingua online learning, for example, FlexiBooks, which is a platform for customized learning material, and other devices and solutions for the client. At Inlingua, the language learning success is certainly very high because we have motivated and motivating teachers in addition to the support material, and that gives the language learning success.
The Inlingua teaching method was developed in order to provide pupils anywhere in the world with the same language learning tools.
Yes, but that's not what we're talking about.
I think the benefits of the method is really a combination of different things. One thing is that you have small classes, which allows the participants to talk as much as possible. You have native trainers. And the fact that the Inlingua method is used all over the world allows big companies to be assured that they can send people to Inlingua and get a similar result with their employees when they learn a new language. I think really one of the advantages is that Inlingua is a method taught and used around the world, around all the globe. And if he chooses Inlingua, wherever he will be, he will find an Inlingua center and he will know how he will be taught the language. And this helps especially for companies to choose Inlingua as a provider for language training.
Inlingua Online Learning is a platform that reaches anybody and everybody who wants to learn a language, without restrictions and with all the guarantees of the Inlingua teaching method.
We certainly have to see what's on the market, the new technologies, the new trends, but first of all we have to listen to our customers. If we keep listening to customers and adapt our offer to their needs, then we will be successful also in the future.
Inlingua has designed a series of technological tools to be applied specifically to its own language learning method.
Several tools. One of them which illustrates well our efforts in the field of digitalization is a tool called FlexiBook app. It allows to quickly create customized courses, language learning courses, so the learner learns exactly what he needs to learn and not what he knows maybe already from the past. Another one is called IWL. IWL stands for Inlingua Online Learning. It's a huge database of exercises that we have created which exactly match our teaching method and our material, the other pedagogical material. And they are sorted in courses with units and key points just like our books. So the learner has really a true customized learning.
Really? Fantastic, fantastic. I'm all ears.
The third one is a virtual classroom, Inlingua Now as we call it. It allows to participate in language courses virtually with a remote trainer using webcam and headsets, and basically you can have a language class just like in the real world, face to face. Coming from the traditional market, it was maybe more difficult for the Inlingua network to make this transfer to the digital world. But I think we're doing pretty well lately. We have developed these fancy and also very helpful language learning tools. And I'm very optimistic that we will continue being a good provider also in the digital language learning.
In the Inlingua teaching method, these technological tools are provided in addition to the direct relationship between teacher and student, generating more options and improving communication.
I don't think it will replace completely, because the social interaction is still important, and it will keep being important. But I think the importance of digital learning, the e-learning part will grow, will become more important.
The owners, teachers and technical personnel at inlingua centres, as well as the students that have chosen the inlingua language learning method, all form part of a narrative that began 50 years ago with a desire to break down language barriers.
The company, as I said, if we keep listening to our customers and adapt our offers, then we will be successful also in the future. We will expand our services and geographically certainly as well. In 50 years' time, I would love to see inlingua as successful as it is now, with great teachers who keep motivating the clients for their language learning success.
Felicidades.
Grazie.
Felicidades.
Tanti auguri.
Enhorabuena.
Felicidades.